Hola, mi amigos, and welcome back to this Round 3 Back 9 MPO chase card coverage of the 2025 World Championships here on MDG Media. This is an exciting tournament. We've reached the halfway point now, getting into the later 50%, potentially more than half if these players do not make the cut, but we have the upper end of the field here. Also sitting next to me, I'm Connor Wood, and with me, Mr. Elias Luukkonen.
What's up, Connor? What's up, viewers? Nice to be here for this back 9. We did see some struggles by our card, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers could actually relate to the struggles on this course, as it's one of the hardest courses you're ever going to play, if you're going to play it, and a lot of our players have stated that this is one of the hardest courses on tour. And you can see it on the scores. No below par scores. Luckily for these players though, the back 9 is a little bit easier, and they can definitely pick it up if they feel like it. And they better feel like it. There's a World Championship title to be shared to hopefully one of these players or somebody on the lead card, more probably. Moving on to hole number 10. One of the easiest holes on the course. It's a great way to start off your back 9. Just throw something straight with a slight turn to the right. No matter righty or lefty, straight and slight right finish is going to be perfect. Should get you inside the circle. It's honestly a hole where if you're not putting inside of, let's say, 15 meters, you have done something wrong or gotten unlucky with the last tree in the middle of the fairway.
Given how hard so many of the shots are on the various holes, this one feels almost like a must-get. Lenni shapes it exactly to those last trees you mentioned. Elias will be, I think, just outside that 15-meter range, which you mentioned to be what any good shot should have at a minimum. Go now to Anthony. Has the putter in his hand. No surprise, and the complete control. So comfortable lacing that disc through tight gaps. Great display of that right there.
Yeah, that's really the most pure line you can throw on this one. Just that slight bit of turn to the right. Adam, being more of a touch forehand player. Forehand has a couple more trees to miss, but he has thrown it perfect, almost acing the basket. Going with a slow approach disc, I believe 4-speed, showing off some good forehand power as well. 88 meters with a 4-speed. It's not something that every player can do.
Austin looking to play the left side. Heiser flip. Has it kicked early and loses his chance at an easy putt for one of the easiest holes. But that will leave him with a tap in 3. We go now to Lenni. Forced to an awkward stance at the tree's edge.
Good for his hyzer release with a shape, but that's not going to be good. He's going to be one of 48% of the field getting a par or worse on this hole. Actually, just 3% getting worse than par. So Lenni shouldn't be in great danger statistically of getting a bogey there with that short comebacker.
See some good cleanup putts there. Half of our card joining just over half of the field, finding the birdie. 55% to be exact.
Very high percentage for this course, being a very difficult one, and it's actually the highest birdie percentage out of any hole on this one, on this course. So definitely one you have to pick up. Unlike hole number 11. What you think of this mighty hole?
A great and challenging par 3, settled 1 foot under a clean 500. Players have to hit a series of gaps and shape their disc very specifically, winding through these trees, something a soft flex backhand with an overstable disc for the right-handed player, as the basket is then tucked away long and to the left. You are ideally getting a straight to right moving shot with a late leftwards finish, but given how many trees there are, so many things need to go right here to put the disc close. Elias, what sort of C1 percentages are we seeing from the field in terms of throwing on 11? I would guess very little.
Yeah, very little to little is probably accurate. Actually 20% of the field getting inside of circle 1 here, so really showing off that the level of play is just skyrocketing in disc golf. 150 meters through the trees, it's not something that most disc golfers can even dream of doing in one shot. As Adam once again picking the forehand option out of the two, even though the forehand doesn't have potential to park the hole. At best you can maybe get to circle 2, and at best is not the situation he's going to be facing, as he's going to be struggling for the par, and same thing for Lenni.
The lefty backhand, much like the righty forehand, simply cannot end in the direction of the green with any reasonable line, but it can give you the long look. Austin has this one more low and piercing than Lenny's. We'll see how fortunate he is. Fights through the trees, skips away from the green, but such nice progress right to the catch cam. Very rare to hit absolutely 0 trees and get a full flight. Austin finds all of those pieces together. Call it a royal flush. We go now to Lenny.
That disc, great shot there. That disc actually looks very much like the one he lost in Estonia. I wonder if he actually got it back.
Adam also looking to shape the high Anheuser forehand around the corner. Does not proceed to the green just yet.
Trying to keep the stoic expression there. Sometimes that can help if you trick yourself that you're not feeling frustrated with bogeying the second hole on this back nine. That can help you keep your head a little bit more level. As we're playing for important positions here. Not only the win in this World Championship is incredibly important, but placing in the top 10. The bonuses of your sponsor, the prestige, negotiations for the rest of your career. Top 10 at a World Championship is something that every player should be proud of.
Even top 20, top 30 with how competitive the field is, that puts you in some of the best disc golfers in the world without question. As we see now, the work left to be done for our chase card. You mentioned emotionally, you can sometimes fake it till you make it. That is not the case with throwing and putting on the course. You need to answer honestly the call of every hole. There is no shortcut to the green here on hole 11.
These wooded holes being quite protected from the largest of galleries, as only the very highest level of tickets grant you access to these furthest wooded holes. Moving on to first par 5 of the back nine. We're gonna have 3 par 5s on the back, very long back nine in the woods. This one playing as a very short distance. You only have to throw about 105 meters off the tee to get to the perfect sweet spot. Tee shot is fully straight. Second shot you can skip around this corner for around 75 meters, 80 meters of distance. And if you throw 2 perfect shots on the tee and on the second, you're only left with about a 70 meter approach. Just a straight shot with a little fade. Honestly, this hole feels like one of the easiest ones on the course, but the difficulty comes with the fact that you have to throw 3 good shots in a row, and not only 1.
You have to shoot 5 good rounds, not only 3. Anthony pushes the right side width as much as he can, but brings it back in time. That is a great throw there. Super clean. And the speed control, just perfect. We go to Lenny, looking to shape the forehand. We'll want to see a little bit of ride straight before moving to the left. He squeaks his way around the corner there. Won't have as much of an open angle on the tight left as out on the right near Anthony's, but you are happy to see your disc get around that corner.
Austin, this is right, but if he gets through a little bit, that might actually be okay, depending how the branches are set up. Might still have a forehand look around the corner. This hole definitely playing better for the righty, just because of the fact that you want that straight carry for a long time and a late left finish. Not really that sharp forehand left finish that you get with a lefty forehand with less spin than the righty backhand.
Austin looking to punch out of the tree line. Just safe from re-entering it once again. Hugs the fairway's edge. Anthony, an ideal spot to be off the drive. Now throwing the second, trying to beat that dog leg as well. And this one does not move left enough in time. We saw him try to manipulate the stability to go straight with a flat release, even a soft flex before fading, but will pay the price.
Yeah, surprising error. On this hole, you really don't need that left finish in order to ensure a birdie look on your third shot. It feels comfortable doing exactly like this, and Adam does it very well. It feels very comfortable to get further around the corner, closer to the basket, but you really don't have to do it. As Lenni, another forehand. Interesting thing about Lenni's forehand is, as you might have noticed on the tee shot, he actually grips the forehand with only one finger inside of the rim. I'd say that he's probably the best lefty forehand thrower that throws only with one finger in the rim.
I think a small pool that he has to beat there very well could be. If you believe that you are somehow fitting that category and better, leave a comment. We can do a one finger forehand lefty competition. Austin Turner tries to get into the green and does well to put himself close, but does not reach the upper crest, that backstop offering you a long but still circle one look. Anthony here punched two straight into the tree line, forced for this scramble shot now on his third. Still has a chance to find a birdie look for himself with a good shot here.
That was not far away from being very good. You can see he was actually throwing a wide rim disc, despite the short distance of about 75 meters there. And Lenni, perfect shot. That's exactly what you want to do on this hole. Keep it low, hit the railing in front of the basket. That's going to leave you with a putt between 3.5 and 5 meters most of the time.
Adam, the very same. AB, his chance for birdie here. Has a look and a prayer, and a putter fires past the basket. Does remain in circle one. Has the longest look now coming back again.
It's gonna be good for the par. Not the score you want on this hole. It's actually the fourth easiest one on the course. 42% of the field getting a birdie. Of course, that being 42 players out of the top 100 players after round 2 in this tournament. And Austin, big miss. We have seen a couple of putting errors from him. Not looking exactly dialed in on the timing. A little unbalanced, a little jerky on the motion. Not quite getting the wrist pop or the finger pop.
Adam does find that finger pop. Also finds a slight trip over the log. But he's back down. He's got his putter, and more importantly, he's got his birdie here on 12. Has yet to take a par on the back nine. We go to Lenni.
Still trying to climb up from the hole that he dug himself earlier in the round. And that's gonna be good. Back to +2. Still very realistic to get back to even par or even under par with a great finish on this back nine.
Calvin, looking good today.
Calvin Heimberg.
Excuse me, sorry. Hey, oh, sorry. Excuse me. Hello. Hey, thank you. A Nakwa. I'm looking for a Nakwa. Do you have one?
Hey, Jerm, you can't cut in line.
My apologies. You may have noticed I just cut you in line. I'm just looking for a Nakwa.
A Nakwa? Here, use mine.
Got it. Thanks.
We move on. Hole 13, another par 5. This one longer, 287 meters. These players will have to forge their way down the tunnel. This has no real OB to speak of, but a thick rough lining the left and right, as well as this pond here, forcing players to fade ideally over it or before it, then shaping up nicely as the dogleg begins to play into effect here. We have a winding dual fairway split by the trees lining the middle. Players, as always, must be forced into an intentional decision as we wind through, tucked with a late uphill and a tiered green. This basket way back there. And a series of gaps absolutely must be hit. There is no other option. Keep it in the fairway, though. This long par 5 can be played cleanly without too much risk if you want just the par.
Lenni not looking for just the par. And honestly, even just the birdie can be quite risk-free. Adam here, he's gonna be trying to throw just a short 90-meter sidearm with an approach disc. Throw it straight, end up to the right, open up that angle for the second shot. While he's slightly more right than he would like to, that's really no problem. He can go for another forehand from there, for a big backhand turnover from there. Options are open as long as you are on the fairway on this hole. It still only requires 3 less than 100-meter shots as far as the distance goes. And AB, that's pretty much the worst spot you can find off this tee pad.
Early inside left off the tree kick will be very punishing. We go to Austin. And for both the lefties and for Adam, I like this play because they're in theory throwing the same shot, or at least a similar one, 3 times. For Adam, it will be 3 forehand hyzers. For these guys, they can play 3 backhand hyzers from the spot that Austin just found himself. Anthony will have anything but the same shot. He is shaping a very aggressive forehand flex. Maybe even was an attempt at a roller, but he gets his way up. Can still get there with a big forehand.
And this needs to get down before the left side woods. It's gonna be on the edge there, and actually a position that is quite okay for a big lefty backhand thrower, as he is. This hole, our card was playing it relatively safe. It's also possible to go for the eagle on this one, with a big backhand flex off the tee. But Adam playing the forehand hyzer as expected, putting himself in position, and look at this. Austin Turner, I believe the reason why he was going for this shot is that he was cut off with his angle, so a backhand hyzer with the lefty would have only gotten him about 70-80 meters of distance, but with turnover he could glide it way further.
AB looking to flex, absolutely crushes the anhyzer. There is not enough width for him to find the fade, but it was so fast that even though it got only half of its flight, he's still nearing the narrow entrance to the green. Lenni with a nice shape there. Gets a clean flight just outside, I believe, circle 2. AB continues to chip away at his distance.
Adam here, he has the inside gap lined up for this forehand, has to put it high, ideally flat to some hyzer out of the hand. Actually going for the flex. Interesting play.
I like this with how nose up it was. An overstable disc will just stall out of the sky. More of an up and down movement than a significant left to right compared to the hyzer, but it does not work out for him so well there. Does get beaten by the ceiling. Austin playing the lefty hyzer.
That's just so common on this hole. I feel like you have to push it just slightly further than you think around that corner to get all the way to the green. EB here, pushing it longer for sure. And that's gonna be a long putt for a bogey. If I counted correctly, a couple of bad shots already on this hole. Needs to finish it off from 9 meters.
Adam going to do a high jump putt and hyzer to get around the corner. He is blind to the basket, all things considered. Great result for him there. Knew exactly the shape that he needed. Despite not seeing it, we go to Lenni. A long birdie look, likely just a layup from him. Not really at all. He wanted that one. Goes a bit long as punishment for the run, but keeps it in the circle.
Yeah, that's the price of putting with such a severe hyzer angle. You really have to swing it out wide. And Anthony here for a great bogey save. Or was that a par? I really thought he threw an extra shot there, but maybe that was a par.
How much scrambling he was doing, I'm also unsure. We will refer to ultimately the final scoreboard.
And Lenni there also missing a short one. So they're cleaning up on the green. Let's give a little shout out for Calvin Heimberg for getting the magnificent Eagle 3 on this hole number 13. Pretty impressive stuff. Almost 1,000 feet through the woods. He got it there within 2 shots.
Absolutely insane. How long was the putt, Elias?
Just a 12-meter putt for Eagle. So definitely drove the disc very well on both of the first shots. Now moving on to the shortest par 4 on the course. Only 176 meters. But the gap is tight, the gap is specific, and the shape. You need to hit just perfect to stay on this fairway. Don't really have to throw it that far off the tee. A short hyzer to flip up shot is going to be great. With a backhand, forehand turnover or lefty backhand turnover is going to work fine. Second shot plays really nicely for a righty backhand flex. Of course, lefty forehand flex is going to work great as well. And you have that OB area in the sand on that right side of the green. I have to worry about that a little bit.
Adam, a steep hyzer inside left. Could be worse. His kick and roll is not the most severe reaction he could have gotten. AB looking to make the correction, has a better width. Hits the gap very well. And a skip as well. He will be just tucked behind or even under those branches, but will afford him a forehand placement shot if he wants it. Maybe he'll still get aggressive despite that left side being a bit cramped for the right-handed backhand swing. We go to Lenni.
Slower disc, overstable approach disc here, just trying to hit the fairway, not really get a lot of distance. And that overstability coming into play there. As I mentioned, the fairway really shaping much better for a flip-up hyzer that finishes a little bit straighter. Or this turnover has the potential to be perfect. Not going to be the case this time though.
Adam trying to get some sort of look into the green. He goes from rough to rough, but both of them close enough to the fairway that he'll have a chance. Austin looking to position himself also around the corner and looking into the green. Gets himself up into the OB hazard. Or is it OB normal, Elias? That one?
I believe playing as a normal OB. But the sand mostly there to stop the discs from skipping out of that area. Lenni going inside with the forehand. That's actually going to be a pretty tricky approach. You have a wall, a wooden wall or a fence on the left side of the basket. You can see it from this angle. That really makes the approaches quite tricky.
Anthony, visible and audible frustration. The crowd follows the action. Adam drops to the knee. He's playing over the artificial wall, accessing the green with the forehand backdoor. Does really nicely, even those late trees slowing him down just in time. Another miss from Austin. That one didn't truly have the height from that range to run it, but was also clearly not a layup. Lenni chips it over the wall. AB, just an awkward angle, almost threw it in.
Yeah, good touch there. Very good touch there. Surprising thing about this hole is, while it's very short for being a par 4, it's still averaging over par. And I looked at the stats a bit with some more precision, and actually there's only one par 4 on this course that is averaging under par. And compared to the fact that every par 5 on this course is averaging under par, it's definitely more about surviving on these par 4s. Maybe give yourself an outside chance for birdie. And the par 5s and some of the par 3s are where you have to be scoring.
The par 4s are not the longest. They're mostly technical. This one, I would say, similarly, hole 15 sits at 221 meters. Players will once again be forced to throw this very specific left to right turning shot through a winding tunnel of trees, once again with no OB, but just natural rough. This is one of the most open holes though, and the fairway is generous enough to offer nice looks. You then have to get over this pond dividing the fairway on this slightly upsloped green, also tiered and protected by this artificial wall. Players will most often filter to a circle 2 look here when playing the hole well to get into circle 1. So much needs to go right, particularly on the second shot.
Adam, let's see the forehand power. This is a test of forehand power. If you do go for it, hard to get into the perfect sweet spot. Yeah, he's gonna be a little bit short there, near that blue staked relief area. Probably gonna have a shot from there, but it's gonna be a long one.
AB gets the turn a bit early. That kick though keeps him in the fairway. And we saw just going up to that 100-meter red stake just before it. I think he's gotten about half of the distance there of the 220. Lenni's high backhand hyzer does push the backside, swings it in. That's a nice spot to be for him.
Yeah, pretty much perfect with a lefty. I think Austin is going to be very happy if he can put his drive somewhere close. And the angle is looking beautiful. Just needs to get right before the backside. That's going to be the case. Almost identical spot there. Wow. Within 2 meters of Lenni's disc there.
We always knew 15 was a lefty hole. Now it's confirmed. We have the data. Adam, not a lefty. Therefore, not his hole. But actually, that tree prevented any meaningful fade to the right and does sit him down. Deep circle 2. AB looking to play the inside hyzer here. Beats all the trees. Can he beat the late ones as well? Sneaks his way up onto the late tiered green. Nicely done.
That was a high level shot, and probably only thing lacking was that left hand. He could have ended up in the bullseye, instead inside the circle. Compared to Austin Turner, once again proving how much of a lefty hole number 15. That's actually a really impressive shot, keeping the angle and the height and the distance all with the forehand. I mean, I feel like the approach kind of suits the right-hand backhand better, as you have more spin and can manipulate the angle better. Don't really want that sharp fade on this hole, but rather that pushing fade.
For Lenni and Austin, light work. We go to Adam now. That tree giving him this look off the cage ultimately will remain at 16. Barela to move to 18. Beautiful connection there. Securing the putt. 2 under for the round now. Not the hottest of rounds for any of these guys, but it's keeping them in contention, particularly having already been near the top.
Lenni. Back to +2. He's fighting for his even par score potentially here. While even par would not be a perfect score or really near what these guys are shooting for. It's still alright.
Hey guys, quick pause. A lot of people are involved in this project. Our goal is to grow the sport and share it with as many people as possible. So if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel, like and comment the videos if you like them, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. It seems small, but it really helps us keep creating free content on YouTube. Enjoy the video.
Now moving on to one of the greatest holes on this course, hole number 16. So many opportunities. It's a big drive of the tee. You want to throw something dead straight. If you want to miss, you can turn it slightly to the right rather than fading too far left with a distance driver. Even some players going for a fairway driver just to keep it on the fairway. Plays as a par 5, so after a big booming drive, you can sometimes be looking down at an eagle chance. A long forehand or a backhand turnover approach to this green. More often than not though, you're not going to be in the perfect spot off the tee because of the distance of the drive, and then it's just all about chipping down the fairway. Drive is a big shot, but the next 2 shots after that really don't need to be that far in order for you to get that birdie.
Anthony clips the right side, moves to the left, but is just hugging the fairway on the friendly side. Lenni shapes the high turnover, really trying to flex this one out. And a smooth smash down the fairway. Nice angle control throughout the entire flight.
Very nicely done. Good distance as well. That has to be 135, 140 meters. Slightly uphill on this drive. As Austin, he's a long thrower, but going for very much a control shot there. Might have even been a fairway driver, judging by the flight of that.
Adam's late release punishing him with very little distance compared to what he would like, and now additionally punished by this low ceiling, forcing him into this flex shape through the available gap to him. And another tree kick. He is quite literally chipping away now from tree to tree, the distance of this long par 5, or rather even not particularly long for a par 5, but a long hole. And what you need to do. Austin as well keeps it clean in the middle.
Low hyzer here. I thought we might see a high hyzer from AB, being a very usual play from that position. And he's gonna have a low ceiling standstill forehand approach. I think probably should be no problem. Let's go, Lenni. This is a big chance to go for a huge eagle here. He has it turning even slightly too much. Very aggressive play. But looks like the disc ends up in okay position for the birdie. Should be able to pitch up and down from there.
Adam just playing a positional shot there from the patent pending stance. Is playing for par at best now. That was his 3rd. He'll have a 4th into the green and then a putt left to him. This is 3rd from Austin. And he puts himself on the wood chips right there. He keeps it in the fairway. 3 simple looking shots, well executed. Just the putt remaining for him to secure the birdie.
Reaction from AB suggesting that the shot wasn't as difficult as the angle made it seem. As Lenni here, tap in birdie incoming, 2 in a row, and he's gonna be only 1 over par for the round after this hole.
Adam leaves himself a headwind putt. We go first, however, to AB for the birdie. We see the flag ripping the elevator up and down of his putter. That one difficult to get a great read on, particularly I think where he was putting was not as exposed to the wind as the green, but is good for the comebacker. Austin for birdie to eliminate the previous 2 bogeys of the last 3 holes. Goes bogey, bogey, birdie, birdie for a net par result so far through the 6 holes. 7 rather of the back 9.
One of the windiest greens on this course. You can see the flag ripping. A big lake on the left side. One of the most beautiful ones as well. It's a place where you might take a picture or two if you're having a nice evening round, like the guys did yesterday with the weather delay in round number 2. Now moving on to a stressful tee shot, hole number 17. So tight off the tee, it plays great for a straight to fading forehand. A lot of players gonna be throwing an overstable fairway driver. Just try to hit the gap off the tee. If you get out of the woods clean, you're gonna have about 100 meters, even less, to the basket. The hole really isn't that difficult after the tee shot. Just plays for a nice turnover backhand. Still requires a lot of touch, but really the tee shot here, that's the part that you are worried about. If you don't hit this gap, you could easily take a double bogey on this hole.
Lenni making that gap look huge. That is about as far as you can get around the corner, hitting the gap. We'll see if Austin makes me eat my words. Also, great power on the backhand lefty. That looks really nice, but didn't come out with the same speed as Lenni's. Still an amazing shot that will put him into a fantastic position. Those two are quite premium. We'll see if the righties can keep up here with this left to right shaping shot.
You might think the righties even have the advantage, as they can face the gap with forehand release, opposed to turning your back to the gap with how the lefties have to throw it. 0 out of 1 from the righties, 1 out of 1 with the gap hits with, 1 out of 2 with Adam, putting it pretty much to the perfect position. You'd like to push the backside of the fairway to open up that angle for the approach, but really anything out of the gap is going to be just fine.
Those Haribo banners marking the OB. Just flip the B and the O in Haribo. We go to Anthony, looking to shape the Anheuser backhand, but completely misreleased in terms of the initial gap. He's very lucky to come back into the middle. Likely a safe par. We get a look at Adam's forehand touch up the hill here, around the corner, with the speed, with the skip. A lot of good things about that. We'll see if he can wrap it all up nicely with the putt. Go to Austin now. Momentum on his side with 2 birdies in a row. He got out the gap really cleanly. See if he can ride the wave.
That's going to be on the right side of the green. You often have a nice uphill look from there, but the branches, there are a few branches that can get in your way, creating that low ceiling uphill putt. A pretty dangerous combination, often making you putt way harder than you would like. Lenni there, just outside the circle. A lot of chance for the roll away. Definitely not the putt where you want to be chickening out with a cage hit.
Anthony is no chicken at all. Ends up going long from super deep. We go first to Lenni though, so he can't be too far away. And a great connection for Kemppainen here on 17. Elias, he's back to even for the round, just like that. We mentioned resilience earlier. He has the heart of a competitor here, fighting back to the final hole left. Even could get himself to 1 under with a final late birdie. Another great putt there from Adam. He is now, I believe, 1 under for the round. So these guys battling to remain under par in round 3.
A big, good comebacker for the bogey even. He's going to be 1 under as well. It's really not a terrible score. It's not a great score. I believe par was still rated above 1,010 during this round number 3. And our card gonna do pretty good work on this hole for the most part, besides Anthony Barela's bogey, of course. As we're moving on to hole number 18, an MDG cameraman practicing the hole before the tournament, 107 meters. Plays slightly downhill, so you really don't have to throw it that far. A lot of players going for a putter. Some players are going for that slight left to right finishing shot with a righty forehand or a lefty backhand. And the iconic submarine green here. So much ground and so much groundwork has been put in on this hole by Jussi and his crew back in the day when this hole was being made. It's not the oldest, of course, I believe. Getting created somewhere around 2018.
Lenni now, his position on the box, a birdie here, allowing him to end under par. This one comes in a little hot to the right side, likely catches the hill, but he is in bounds. A long and slightly dangerous putt. We'll see how badly he wants the thought of a 1 under. Austin, a much more straight looking line with the lefty backhand, and you see a perfect adjustment from Lenni's line. Digs the second tier. The safest way to control the flight here is to hit the front mound.
Adam, I really love this hole for his forehand. It's perfect for that approach disc. Throwing it very hard. And look at that, inside of the bullseye. Something that's quite difficult to do with this hole, and that top tier pretty much shaping out on the edge of the bullseye.
And such a soft release there with a lot of hyzer. We saw AB, he had the distance even with that very slow swing, but that ultimately is not enough to turn it over, and he hyzers out left. I think likely a par from him, as indicated by that young man flashing the 3. Let's see if he's right. I mean, he has little to nothing here, even opting for a throw, and a bit careless here. Could come in on edge, but does match the slope ultimately.
A lot of potential meanings for that 3 as Lenni finishing with an insane streak of 4 birdies in a row. The man was 4 over par after some of the earlier holes, getting to 1 under. Austin Turner also with an even par round, really not a catastrophe. It's gonna feel bad, you're losing strokes to the leaders, but not really losing that many strokes to the average player in the field.
Adam, light work of 18, finds himself 2 under and leading this card with that final putt. 1 under from Barela. We see the 18, we see the 17 for both Kemppainen and Barela. Austin sitting at 14. But look at those final 4 holes played by our chase card Elias. They were lighting it up.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff, and that's what you need if you're having a rough round going into the last 2 rounds of this tournament for these players, as we're gonna have a cut for the final round, but these players well inside of the cut, well inside of the cash line. They need that momentum to absolutely shred Nokia, the beast, tomorrow and in the final round. The 2 final rounds are gonna be played there. Need a lot of birdies, and thank you guys so much for watching. This is gonna be the last round you're gonna see from this course this year.
I think a breath of fresh air for the players, for the viewers, as we move to Nokia. Make sure to join us for round 4 as we now push towards the later half. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you there.